All right, friends, hello and welcome to your Tune In Tuesday Yin Yoga practice on Insight Timer. We are going to be working on tight back, upper neck, shoulder area, hips, and just generally like the whole back. And then someone asked for a heart opener, so we will definitely include that. Have your props, 2 blocks, 2 blankets, a bolster, couch, cushions, pillows, anything that you can use for a prop will work. All right, so with that, take a comfortable seat, sitting cross-legged, or if there's another sitting position that you prefer, please take that. But root down into your sitting bones. And feel your shoulders over your hips. Maybe that means you kind of rock forward and back a little bit until you find that just right spot. And once you find it, find stillness. Gently draw your shoulder blades behind you, really opening up through the heart space. So we can take a nice, gentle heart opener just in our Sukhasana, getting into our practice. And maybe you notice as you're sitting this way, shoulders over hips, heart lifting, chin is level with the floor, and your eyes are soft or closed. We really get to pay attention to what's happening internally. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Our thoughts influence our emotions, and our emotions influence our behavior. So it all starts with the thoughts. And if we find ourselves having thoughts that are not pleasant, or they bring discomfort, it's like we're re-injuring or redoing the hurt again and again and again. The mind replays it, the body experiences it. So if that is something you experience, welcome. Welcome. It's so much fun, right? Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. So this is why we have this practice. This is why this practice is so important and beneficial to me, because it helps me to become aware of these thoughts and understand I do not need to become them, attach to them, or act upon them. I can simply let them go, release. Easier said than done, I know. But it's practice, and we do that. Just like we come to our yoga mat, we have the same practice internally for the brain, for the mind. Purifying, cleansing, encouraging thoughts that feel good. So if we have those thoughts do not feel good, I absolutely implore you to find a better feeling thought. And it could be small, something that you are grateful for. So let's do that now. What is something you are so grateful for? Stay here for a few more breaths, allowing that thought to resonate and feel good. So let that thought feel good in your body, the things you are grateful for. Stay for one more breath. And gently blink open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers, come back to your space. Good morning, my friends. If you're joining, we are going to work on some of this upper back stuff and neck and shoulder things. So I think let's do that. We're going to come right down to the floor. So we're going to make it nice and juicy to begin. So clear your props. You're not going to need a thing at the moment. So have your mat nice and cleared. And let's get down to it. All right. We're going to come down to the belly. We're going to take that kind of chalk outline. We call it Spider-Man, like when Spider-Man's crawling up the walls. You're going to take the knee out to the side. If it's 90 degrees, great. If it's not, that's fine too. If you want, you're more than welcome to use some props. If you want to slide a blanket underneath your knee, I think I actually might use 2 blankets, one for the head, perhaps, and one for the leg, just because I'm really, my knees, my knees are bony. No, they need a little softness. So find that blanket. If you're using it, slide it over, bring the knee there. Like I said, it can be 90 degrees or not, but find a position that works best for you. Choices: head facing the same direction as the knee. This other arm, I'm going to take, like the one you can't see, I'm going to flip it the other way. So the back of my hand is on the ground and my palm is facing the sky. So it's kind of like this way, the other way. Good. And then other hand, goalpost arm, just like that. If you want to really work on your neck, maybe turn it the other way. Turn your head the other way. And we're going to hang out here for about 2 minutes. So setting my timer. Get comfy in your position. Use whatever props you have. And here we go with our time. We'll do 2 minutes on each side. This will be a nice long hold for the neck and the shoulders. So good. I definitely need this too. So thank you, friends, for suggesting. Shoulders and neck. Breathing here. And at any time, you're more than welcome to change anything you wish. If you need to move the knee down or if you want to move it up, get a little bit more hip opening, you can do that. So targeting the spine, the hips, the shoulders, the neck, just getting it all in right here. Nice big breath in. Slow, smooth exhale. See if you can lengthen the exhale compared to the inhale. Perhaps you stay just as you are, or if you want a little bit more, perhaps you turn your head the other way, or maybe you already have. Oh, there we are, 2 minutes, just a little bit too late for that head turn. All right, friends, opposite side now. So bring your fingertips underneath the shoulders, gently draw that leg back in towards midline. If you want a little pause in between, maybe just rock the hips side to side a little bit. Good. All right. And I'm going to flip around the other way. Okay, friends. So same thing. Bring that knee up. Either it's a right degree, a right angle, 90 degrees, or maybe it's a little bit lower. You can stack hand, palm on palm if you wish, or maybe you'd have that nice blanket for the support, up to you. And then turn that back hand the other way. So it's the opposite of the front arm. And head can stay turned the same direction or turn it away. And you can do that anytime you're ready. Everyone's going to settle into this shape a little bit differently. So take your time. And when you are comfortable with all your supports, hold still. And breathe. Keep those exhales nice and long, longer than that in-breath. All right, that was our 2 minutes on this side. Gently draw the hands in, the feet together, hands underneath shoulders, and maybe press back. Maybe take a little child's pose, but bring the knees together so your low back is supported. Just kind of come into this counter pose for a few moments. Stay where you are and breathe. So a nice stretch for the spine and the low back here and over the quads. So a lot of stretching happening here. So just breathe. Perhaps you shift a little side to side, giving the chest tissue a little massage, which is so good. All right, my friends, bring your hands under your shoulders. Gently make your way out of your child's pose. Woo, I feel like a new woman after 20 minutes. That was amazing. Okay, my friends, let us take a little movement if you need. If you need to stretch out your legs, do that. Maybe extend one leg behind you, press through that heel. Toes stay grounded. The other knee is on the ground supporting. Just keep pressing through that heel, opening up the calf, knee, Achilles, and the hamstring a little bit. Good. And then switch when you're ready. Other foot goes back, toes on the floor, press through the heel. Oof, so nice. Good. And then if you need maybe some cats and cows or just some gentle stirring of your spine, you can take whatever movements that you like. We are going to come into a heart opener next. And we're going to use some props. So, when you're ready. We've spent a lot of time prone, face down. We are going to spend a few moments doing the same, but the opposite. So opening up the heart. I want to make this pretty juicy. I really want to just use blocks for this one for myself. We are going to bend the knees and put the feet together. So butterfly, so reclined, bound angle posture is where we're heading. So I'm going to use one block at the tallest height for my head, the one mid-back sideways at the second tallest height. And then I'm going to take another blanket, or if you want, you can use a bolster if you wish, or you can take a blanket and make that blanket roll that I love. It's my favorite support for my legs. I take it nice and wide, and then I roll the blanket so it's a skinny roll, not a fat roll. If you like a fat roll, make it a fat roll, but this one, for me, I prefer it this way. It helps with my Very sensitive shins and ankles. All right, soles of the feet come together, butterfly the knees out, use those tails tuck under. Then you may have to adjust a little bit, but that's okay. Take your time. I want to make sure the setup is right. Same thing when we come into our restorative shapes. It doesn't really matter. I want to make sure you set yourself up properly so you're comfortable in the shape as opposed to just coming down and then being really uncomfortable and having to come out early. Remove any hair things you have, hair ties or hair clips. Feels so much better with nothing on the head coming into this shape. So make your adjustments, set yourself up, and time will begin now. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. So enjoy. Really allow the shoulders to open. Breathe into that heart space you are creating. It's a gentle lift off of the hips, right? So just a lengthening of the spine should feel really nice. If you don't want to take it just with blocks, please use a bolster or some pillows, couch cushions over the blocks to make it a little softer. If you want the intensity, which I need right now for my body, I'm going to just use the blocks. And so far, it's feeling fantastic. And once you find stillness, everything feels fine, you're done fidgeting. It's usually about after a minute. Really focus and become aware of your breath. Where does your breath move into? What spaces? And can you direct your breath a little bit more to where you want it to go? Or do you want to just allow your body to take the breath where it needs to go? Two different approaches, right? The areas that you know you need some extra space in to move the emotions. But also, the body is very wise and it knows exactly where. Keep breathing big breaths into the heart and into your belly. All right, my friends. Begin to deepen your breath. Place your hands down alongside you for support, and then maybe you begin to straighten your legs. Just be mindful of any props around you. And you can take your arms, press down into the forearms, into the hands to come back up. Or you can kind of just roll off your blocks. Whew, I see a few more people have joined. How are we feeling? How did that heart opener feel? I know I'm feeling a lift. I needed that. I need some more of this in my life, that's for sure. That felt great. Good. Okay, we're loving it. Fantastic. Thank you, friends. I love your feedback during the practice. I always like to know we're on the right track. Yes? Yeah, you so needed that. Yeah, Marcy, me too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Sometimes it's like you don't know what you need until you do it. You're like, oh, wow, that was so good. Like I did a sauna last night. Felt so good. Hadn't done one in a little while. And it's like, ah, yes, so good. All right, so where are we going? Upper back. All right, let's just keep this going. Let's do a little heart melting. Let's do heart melting puppy dog, Anahastasana. Now, if that's too much, this is obviously good for the upper body. Christina, so sorry. You always could have taken that out completely. If I offer like a pose like that, like if we're in fish or reclined bound angle, and you're like, I'm not having this, like this is just not working, take the legs straight. Always feel like that's an option. If you're kind of new to me, just know that I try to get the most out of each shape. Yin works with very few postures. We don't have a whole ton like you do in vinyasa, like hatha practice. Kind of the same thing for restorative. So we're limited. So it's like if I can incorporate multiple areas, upper body, lower body at the same time, I try to go for it. So that's why you'll see a lot of both. I was going to offer another option when we were in the reclined bound angle of the arms. You can clasp elbows overhead and then switch. But I just wanted to kind of keep it there. So forgive me if I didn't offer it, but if you know it, please feel free. Obviously, you know yoga too. It's not just limited to me. Okay, puppy dog. This is what we're doing. We're really going to get into the upper back. So if this is going to be too much, please feel free to bring it down into a child's pose, but an extended child's pose with arms forward. I'm going to use a blanket for my knees since I don't have another yoga mat underneath this one today, and it's just a little too, my knees are a little too bony for this. So it's really amazing how much like my other Lulu mat made a difference underneath this one, because this one's very thin. This is like one of those like Indian ones where more traditional. So there's no gripping on it. If you spray it, because it's like a cloth mat, if you spray it with a little water and dampen it, it's supposed to help with sticky a little bit. So love the mat. It's great. You can wash it, but not a whole lot of padding. So I suggest if you have another mat, place it underneath. It's much better. I have another yoga mat at the other house. Okay, so here we go. Blocks. This is if you are not taking puppy dog. If you already know it's too much for your body, then this is where you get to use your blocks in a couple different ways. So big toes come together, knees separate, hands can come on top of blocks, forehead comes down like this, right? Take the blocks wider if the shoulders need more space. If you've had any shoulder injuries, if you've had any shoulder surgeries, or the shoulders are just, you know, what they are. Take the hands wider than the shoulders. Don't feel like you have to keep them parallel. So that's an option right here. If this is okay, and you want to take it a little bit deeper, another option to try out are elbows on top of blocks, palms touching. So Anjali Mudra, and then forehead comes down. Really good. If you want to take it into puppy dog, the one I'm offering, knees are underneath the hips, and then you walk the hands forward, forehead comes down, arms reaching, and you're really just pressing your heart towards the ground as much as you can. I love this one. All of them are fantastic. If I could do all three at the same time, I would. You know what? Let's just do it like this. Let's do a 3-minute puppy dog, but I'm going to offer it in stages. So if you want to gradually do it with me, we'll do that way. I think I like that for today. So we'll bring it down just child's pose, just how I showed child's pose, and then we'll bring it to elbows, and then the final minute, if you want to come up into full puppy dog or take any other variation, or if you just want to stay with whatever variation you have and it works for you, do that. All right, so here we go, 3 minutes, and then I'll cue at each minute if you want to change and try the next step. Totally up to you. So really nice progression here. So nice, good lengthening of the spine. You got the shoulders involved. So you're working with the heart and lung meridian. So good. The hips, the whole spine. I love it. The quads, the tops of your feet. There are so many things happening in this shape, right? If you break down each part of your body, there's so much happening, and it's going to be so happy when we're done. All right, next phase, if you want, bring the blocks a little bit closer. I fudged on that one a little bit. I got a little too comfy, sorry. So elbows come to the block. And you can keep your hands with the fingertips pointed towards the sky, or maybe bring the thumbs towards the nape of your neck. Hold where you feel like you're going to get the most out of it. Oof. All right, that was about 45 seconds in that one. If you want to join me for the last 45 seconds for puppy dog, you're more than welcome to. So keep those knees under hips, walk the hands forward, forehead comes down to the ground or maybe a block. But feel that opposite and opposing action. You're reaching the fingertips, but you're lifting the hips up and back. So the spine is getting a nice stretch here. Keep breathing. Good. Carefully walk your hands back. Let yourself rest into a child's pose. Sitting bones resting on heels for a moment. Maybe wrap the arms around and grab the feet and just cocoon and ball up for a moment. And then as you're ready, place your palms underneath the shoulders and slowly come up. Whew. How are we feeling? That was so lovely. Oh, thoroughly enjoyed that today. How are we doing? Good? Okay. Let's continue on. Fabulous. Fantastic. I really enjoyed doing that progression. I really thought it was helpful because I don't know about you, but I've been definitely feeling a lot of shoulder tension and neck tension. So when a lot of you have been asking for shoulders and necks, I'm just like, oh yeah, absolutely, let's do that. So that was just All of it, the heart opening and the upper shoulder neck work area has been feeling so good. So thank you for your suggestions today and asking for what you need, because you weren't the only person that needed it, right? And that's the beautiful thing about showing up online. And this is why I choose to host this way. I don't like coming here with a set plan. Sometimes I do. When I do the chakra balancing for each season, I like to host a yin chakra balancing practice for an hour. It's usually the Friday class because that's closest to the equinox or the uh, short circuiting over here. Perimenopause is so much fun. Equinox, and then we have, yeah, fall, winter, spring, the seasons. This is actually being recorded. This is so sad. Anyway, okay. Let's keep going, friends. Let's get down into the hips a little bit more. So let's take the legs nice and wide. This is going to be a good one. Choices, blocks, bolsters, whatever you have. We're going to take it to a little side bend. So really rooting down through your hips. Take the feet a little bit closer if you need to. Don't need to take them super wide because we are going to come down into a side bend. So be mindful of that. All right, so we have a little dragonfly with side bends. Feet out to the sides. Let the feet be nice and relaxed. No need to hold the toes up towards the sky. But I do want you to feel grounded on your sitting bones. So feel that energy. And then as you decide, maybe you come down, maybe the arm is on the outside on a block. Maybe it's on top of the leg. Maybe it's on the inside with no support. Or maybe you choose to put a block. A bolster may also come in handy. Options. We're not going to be here for super long. Let's take it for 2 minutes. I think we'll do 2, 2, and 2. So it's a 6-minute hold today. So options here, you can leave the other arm just draped. Maybe you take it behind your back. Maybe you take it overhead. These are all choices. None of them are wrong. Each one is correct, depending on what you want. So with that, choose your adventure. Rooting down into both sitting bones. So if we're leaning over to the right, make sure that left leg is grounded and the hip isn't popping up or shifting. So the pelvis is like hammered in. It's nailed down. Nothing is moving. The only thing that's moving is the spine laterally to the side. So use that support for your head. I like to put my hand under my head for support. Oh, so good, friends. So happy you're here joining me for this today on Tuesday. Did y'all have a good weekend? A good one? Nice Halloween and Day of the Dead? I know I did. And daylight savings, all the things happened, didn't it? Forgive. SEMA, I live right by the convention center in Las Vegas, and SEMA is starting. So I forgot this craziness happens. And as I was driving over here this morning, I'm like, OMG, I do not want to come back over here the rest of the week. This is terrible. I recall last year I had a private yoga class I was going to host for about a dozen people, and I had to cancel it because I didn't realize it was going to take me literally 45 minutes to get out of my neighborhood, not even including the travel time to actually get to the event. So I had to cancel it, and that really sucked. So thanks, Seema. And I have an airport, so it's loud. All right, friends, release your hand from your head and then come up. If you need to take a little back bend, stretch it out, lift the heart. If you want to bring the legs together, anything else, you have a couple moments before we head over to the other side. And we went from right to left, or do left to right, whatever is working for you. But we will take the center last. And that's where we get to use maybe a bigger prop to lean on. It'll feel really good. So still working on our back, the whole back, the hips. So again, ground down through your hips, getting ready for side 2. So as you come down, take that exhale, feel rooted. Don't let it lift. Good. And then choices, arm overhead. Maybe you're using the block for support, the hand is resting in, the head is resting in the hand, or maybe the arm is just relaxed or draped behind. All are great choices. But feel that groundedness in your pelvis. No Elvis pelvis. We don't want the pelvis moving around. Nice and grounded. And if that means you need to come out a little bit, then do that. You don't, if coming all the way down sacrifices the integrity of the pose, I don't want you to do it. Right? Kind of like life, like I don't want you to make any decisions in life that compromise your integrity of what you stand for, your values. I mean, I hope, right? It's not easy nowadays to have integrity, to walk the talk and talk the walk and the whole thing and do as you say and keep your word, right? This is why I find yoga to be such a beautiful blessing in my life, of how I can live my life in a way that feels good to me. And I feel like I'm serving the world and I'm not hurting anybody, but I'm also living in my truth and doing what feels right. I don't feel compromised by the things I'm asked to do with my values. They all they have to coincide, right? Everything has to feel good. Alignment, integrity, all of that matters. But it's very challenging to have integrity in this day and age. But let me tell you, it's so dang worth it. It pays off, people. All right, slowly come up. When you keep your word, to people, or if you do the things you say you're going to do, people will give you so much more respect. But if they don't, that's okay, because you know what? You're doing the right thing. You have integrity and it feels good. You get that intrinsic reward of knowing you did the right thing when no one was looking or paying attention. That's amazing stuff. Okay, so we are going to take the final dragonfly down the center. Right, left, and then middle. So here we go. Whatever props you have. I'm going to take my bolster down the center and just kind of lean on it as much as I want. So maybe you lean it forward, maybe your forehead is resting, maybe you're resting your whole chest and you're kind of holding onto the bolster. Use it however you see fit. This is going to be one of our final postures. So get the most out of it for the last 2 minutes, and then we'll take it down for some twists. And then you know what's happening next. So come down the center again. Let the feet be relaxed. The feet roll open to the sides. We're not holding them. And then we're resting here. So hips, whole spine, legs too. Totally forgot about. We're getting some nice stretch in the back of the hamstrings here, or in the back of your legs, outside of your hips. Depending on how far wide you took your legs, you might feel something on the inseam as well. So lots of target areas here, my friends. Lots. All right, my friends, carefully steady whatever prop your head is on. And gently move that over to the side. And we will find ourselves on our backs. So let's do that. Come down to your back. Hug those knees in. Rock them a little side to side. Good. And then maybe take the knees in a circle. Give your low back a little TLC. And reverse. All right. We have a spinal twist coming up. I'm going to take a single leg twist. So gently hugging in my left knee to my chest. Carefully dropping that knee over to the other side. Left arm comes out. Open wing that. And let's be here for about a minute on each side. Just really breathe. And as you exhale, let it go. Let those exhales be nice and long. All right, friends, gently bring that knee back to center. Walk the feet together. Maybe you hug the knees in once more. Rock a little. And then extend left leg straight. Right knee hugs in. Exhale. Right knee across your body. Open up that heart. 1 minute twist on this side. And if you want to use a support for your knee, you're more than welcome to. Might feel really good. Keep breathing into your belly, even in this twist. I know it makes the breath a little more challenging when we're in a twist, but so beneficial. We need to keep that breath moving, moving the energy, moving the emotions, moving whatever is stuck. Your face is very gentle and relaxed and soft. There's no emotion on it, perhaps. That's okay. All right, 1 minute is over. Carefully inhale, roll to your back, hug the knees in once more. Give me a happy baby. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Let those knees drop towards your armpits. Keep your full spine on the ground. So if the hips are lifting off the ground, maybe back off a little bit. Grab the backs of your quads. So grab your hamstrings or maybe, the calves, anything that you can reach if the feet are just not going to be accessible to you. And take any last movements that your body is asking for before we come down into our final resting shape. I'm going to take our Shavasana. I'm going to take a bolster underneath my knees, a blanket for my head, and here I am. All right. So settle down into the final resting shape, whichever position you took. Maybe you took a little Stonehenge with your blocks and a bolster, maybe no props, maybe all the props, totally up to you. But let's find stillness here for the final moments of our practice together before we release ourselves out into the world, or before we drift off into dreamland, depending on where you're tuning in from. Please stay for the closing of our practice at the end of our Shavasana. Until then, enjoy and release any controlled breathing. Let that breath return to its natural rhythm. And allow your eyes to close, or at least soften. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Invite some fuller, deeper breaths in. Good. And extend the movement to your wrists and to your ankles. Circle them in one direction. And reverse. On your inhale, reach your arms overhead, full body stretch. And bend one knee at a time. And gently roll over to one side. Make your way up to a comfortable seat. And we can close this Tune In Tuesday Yin Yoga practice. How are you doing? How are you feeling? So good, hopefully. All right. Yes. Yay, Marcy. Awesome. So glad you joined. Everybody that came that's new, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed it. And I do this on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. my time here, Pacific time in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then Friday also at 8 a.m. Yin Yoga practice. And Wednesdays I offer restorative at 4 p.m. my time. So depending on where you are, that might be the perfect plan for you. Do a little restorative, have some tea, and then slip right into dreamland. So that's my wish, at least for the restorative practice. So yay, good, good, good. Good. Oh, so good. I love all the responses. Nora, fantastic. The pain is gone. It was great. Thank you, Wanda. So much better now. Revived in lower back and hips. Free Jessie. Me too. Oh, yes. Good, Nora. It was feeling very restorative. I loved it. Yeah. Ah, fantastic, everybody. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and close our practice, and feel free to leave a donation if this practice served you and you are happy. All right. So on your next in-breath, let's reach the arms overhead. Big inhale, exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love, through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Again, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for restorative, and Friday for our yin practice in the morning. Alrighty, enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Thanks, Christina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantastic. All right, friends, see you soon.